What is going on YouTube? It is RandyTalksMets in the building. This video is going to be about a new series actually that I will be making. I will be, looking into the 2021 Mets and some of the Mets, and we're going to go over their, their stats for their career. And, do I think they will improve the Mets in 22? And do I think they will improve personally? So leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new, guys. The first one we are going to talk about definitely in this video, the only one we're going to talk about this one in this video is Francisco Lindor. Francisco Lindor is basically, guys, the new face of the Mets. You know what I'm saying? I would say Francisco Lindor has a lot of pressure, to be the next guy, the big, the captain. Obviously we know that David Wright was the captain in the past, but we know that Pete Alonso is also, the captain type as well. But with the $341 million contract that Francisco Lindor has, a lot of eyes are on him. And, New York, they want him to perform. They want him to do, they want him to do good, guys. They want him to not just do good, they actually want him to do great. So New York Mets fans, we want the best for Francisco Lindor. And, we want to see that 300 hitter, that he was in 2015, around that years. So we want to see that Francisco Lindor of old. And overall, I'm just going to get into, do I think Francisco Lindor, is he still the Francisco Lindor of old? I'll get into that. But, let me know what you guys think about Francisco Lindor before I get into anything about Francisco Lindor. Overall, guys, Francisco Lindor, like I said, he's the face of the Mets right now. He has that $341 million contract just over his head. Last year was his big year in New York, his first year in New York. So a lot of people judged him. They was really looking to him to be the face of the Mets, and he just came to this team. And the reason why is because of the money, the money that Steve Cohen gave him, literally, he's the most paid player on the Mets. So it makes complete sense. Francisco Lindor, guys, if you don't know him, he is a shortstop. He is from Puerto Rico. Francisco Lindor is 27 years old, going to be 28. Guys, Francisco Lindor, is going to be the next shortstop for the next 10 years for the Mets. He probably won't last that long, probably 10 years. They'll probably trade him, obviously when it comes to like the last 3 years, 2 years of his contract, because he's going to be pretty old at that time. So it makes complete sense why, why you would trade a player. Obviously Albert Pujols, there's certain players that just can't perform no more. And Francisco Lindor, he is at the age that he can perform right now. But obviously, when it comes to the 8th year in the contract or the 7th year, he's just not going to have it. I don't feel like he's going to have it personally, but we'll see what happens. But, guys, like I said, Francisco Lindor is the shortstop for the next, decade, to be honest. So, he has a lot of pressure on himself. He has a lot of pressure from New York. But, this guy's very talented, okay? This guy's a great defender, a nice hitter. He's not your average, he's not a power hitter, but he can definitely hit it, out of the park. He can hit some home runs. In his career he has been a 20 home run hitter, 30 home run hitter. So he has that power in him, but in 2021 we just didn't see a lot of that. So let's get into his 2021 stats, to be honest, guys. His batting average was 230. Okay, so the batting average being 230 was very, very, very disappointing. Just looking at the batting average, it's just not right. A lot of the 2021 Mets were not right, in their batting average. They just didn't look right. But Francisco Lindor, with a new team, a new city, he just didn't look as comfortable as obviously, to be honest, a lot of players that come to New York from other teams, don't really do well. So their first years. That's just, to be honest. Carlos Beltran, when he first came here, he did not do well. So there's certain players, guys, that just needs some time to get used to the city, because it is a lot of pressure, playing for New York City. So definitely, with the batting average being 230, it was very disappointing. He had 20 home runs. Okay, so he did hit 20 home runs, but the 20 home runs, it really came in the second half of the season. That's really what happened, because in the first half of the season, he was not hitting for power. He wasn't really hitting a lot. He was hitting to a lot of double plays. He was striking out a lot. He just wasn't looking confident at the plate. Now, we know Francisco Lindor is a switch hitter. So, overall, I've heard from, Keith Hernandez, those type of people on SNY, that Francisco Lindor has more power to his right. So he has more power to his right side, so but to be honest, Francisco Lindor, like I said, is not a power hitter, but he is a very important piece to this team. He's the guy that I should want, when his base is loaded, 2 outs, 2 strikes in the ninth inning, and I'm trying to get a hit or I want a home run. Yeah, so if Francisco Lindor is in a big situation like that, bases loaded, 2 outs, 2 strikes, I want him to get a hit or I want him to hit a home run, but I also want him, to perform. I want him to be clutch. I'm not the Mets owner, but the Mets owner gave him $341 million to do something, right? So, Francisco Lindor had a lot of opportunities to do a lot of things, in the season, and he came up short in a lot of them. So, 2021 was not the best season for Francisco Lindor at all. Like I said, batting average was 230, 20 home runs, very, very disappointing. But let's get into overall, guys, his stats, of his career, to be honest. So in 2015 with Cleveland, he had a batting average of 313. So just imagine a Francisco Lindor with a batting average of 313 on the Mets. It would have looked way better, guys. He would have looked more productive at the plate. He would have been more clutch. He would have really performed better. And obviously, 230 and 313 is completely different. So we obviously, as Mets fans, we want Francisco Lindor to be a 300 hitter. So, his strikeouts in 2015 was 69. Okay? So that's not a lot of strikeouts for a guy that played in a lot of games, okay? Francisco Lindor played a lot of games, So, yeah, guys. But in 2015, he had 12 home runs. So he did not have a lot of home runs, in that year. That was like his first year, in baseball. So 2016, though, he had 15 home runs. So he was improving his power. He was getting better. And, his batting average was still 300. So he was a 301 hitter, in 2016. But 2017, he played in a lot of games as well. He hit 33 home runs, okay? 33 home runs, 89 RBIs, but a batting average of 273. Now, I'm not going to lie. I would like for Francisco Lindor, to hit 33 home runs or whatever. But batting average is very important to me as well. And, I would love Francisco Lindor to be a 300 hitter for the New York Mets. I feel like he can do so much for this team. Like I said, he can hit in the clutch. He can be a way better player than he was in 2021. Okay. Definitely 2018, his batting average was 277, so, he overall was only a 300 hitter, those first 2 years, 2015, 2016. So overall, guys, he's been a 270 hitter, 280 hitter, around there. So if we can get 280 or, I don't want 270, but 280, close to 290 with Francisco Lindor for 30 home runs, I would take it gladly. So, that would be awesome, to be honest. But let me know what you guys think about Francisco Lindor. Let me know if you think Francisco Lindor, can be the Francisco Lindor of old. Can he be better? Can he be that 30 home run hitter? I feel like personally, he can be, from 25 to 30. I feel like he can definitely do it. 2021 he hit 20 home runs. Okay, but he hit a lot of home runs in the second half because the first half, like I said, he did not hit a lot of home runs. But we don't need Francisco Lindor to be that power hitter, but we need him to be clutch. So definitely in 2022, I would love to see Francisco Lindor hit from 280 to 290. Get me, get the Mets 25 to 30 home runs. Get over 100 RBIs. That would be awesome. Do you guys think that Francisco Lindor can do that still? Let me know. I mean, guys, this guy's still young, 28, 27, he's not 30 years old. So, he can still, perform. And hopefully in 2022, he gets more comfortable, with the New York Mets and the New York City. I feel like at the end of the 2021 season, he was getting a lot more comfortable. And overall, that he had a really big signature moment in 2021, and that was the Subway Series. Okay, so that was Citi Field. That game where he hit 3 home runs. So it shows that Francisco Lindor, he can hit a lot of home runs. Okay, but he, if he needs to be, I guess, motivated, because obviously that day, that Subway Series day, you got all the fans. You got New York. New York Yankees versus New York Mets is a big game, big series, and big. Big. Yeah, it's just a big platform. It's just a really big platform for Francisco Lindor to show what he could be to New York. And guys, he performed that night so good. He won the game for us. We won against the Yankees. I forgot the score, but guys, if Francisco Lindor is motivated, and obviously we paid him $341 million, so he needs to be motivated by just that. But if we get the Francisco Lindor that I think that we can, like I said, the 280, 290, 30 home run hitter, 27 home run hitter, around there, the Mets are going to be in better position. He's going to get a lot more clutch hits. He's going to do a lot more things for the Mets in general, and hopefully get us to the postseason. And, 2022 is looking good for the Mets. Overall, we're looking pretty good with all the additions. But let me know what you guys think about Francisco Lindor. Do you think that Francisco Lindor, do you think, are we going to get a better season for Francisco Lindor than we had in 2021? I personally think Francisco Lindor is going to have a better season in 2021. But, I feel like he's going to he's going to start slow again, not be as great as he was in the second half. Obviously we saw the first half and the second half, it was completely different Francisco Lindor's. The first half, Francisco Lindor didn't look that confident. He wasn't hitting a lot. He was barely hitting the ball. He was hitting the ball to I remember there was a game I was watching with Zach Wheeler, and Francisco Lindor, he was not getting the barrel on the ball, and he hit it basically to Zach Wheeler, and it was just a little ground out, and it was a big situation. So, obviously we see what can happen when Francisco Lindor gets the barrel to the ball, and I feel like that's what he has to work on going forward in 2022. So let me know what you guys think about the video, guys. This is a new series that I'm doing, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. Definitely, guys, Francisco Lindor is a very, very important piece, to the Mets in general. He's obviously the future of the Mets right now. So, yeah, we're stuck with Francisco Lindor whether we like it or not. So, yeah, guys, I always want to end the video with telling you guys, you could do anything that you want to do in your life. So don't let anyone stop you. And, yeah, let's go Mets. Stay blessed. I love you guys.